John Polk, reading my book, Love Marketing and New Reality, Chapter 3. This is the second video in Chapter 3, so that's where I am. If you're not on the right video, go back and look for number 3, 2, or 1. So this is actually video number 5 of this series. And in addition, business is filled with possessive, greedy terms such as retention, retain, acquisition, locked in, we own them, they're mine, and the list continues. I'm going to return to the subject of how these traditional business conceptions actually hinder our progress and success in a later chapter, but for purposes here, the point is that we have been conditioned to believe that the road to the top is about defeating the competition, doing what it takes. And if it takes stepping on a few toes, being a little ruthless, so what? And what about customers and clients, executives, bosses, owners, and sales managers are constantly talking about customer concern and customer service. But soon enough, their message returns to the war metaphors. Let's pull out our marketing weapons and take no prisoners. We need to target our customers. In this arena, it is not at all unusual to call the customer, clients, liars, cheats, disloyal, dishonest, and in general, pain in the asses, while putting up signs that read, "Our customers are number one with us." Can you imagine how the customer or client would feel if he or she stood invisible in the room and heard all this? But this is how business has been conducted, at least since the advent of money some 3,000 years ago. In any case, what I'm getting at is that as soon as someone says something like, "Let's get down to business," we are accustomed to thinking in terms of butting heads, going on the offensive, and so forth. The warrior in us is aroused, and we merge ourselves into visions of victory and defeat, gains and losses. Typically, the moment we sit down to discuss business with anyone, our first inclination is to watch our backs. And when it comes down to the jargon of the entrepreneur, what is more common than to ask an associate, "How goes the battle?" But why is this true? Other business is not the enemy. And while big business is certainly powerful and can be overwhelming competition, it's not the enemy either. The enemy is within. Let me repeat that. The enemy is within. And what I mean by this is that just as individuals can become their own worst enemy, the business owner or leader can become self-defeating as well. This is true not because he or she is a defeatist, but because he or she is being defeated to one degree or another as each fiscal year goes wistfully by. As a result, the owner or leader is trying to push harder against the rising costs and expanding competition. You know this because you hear it even in casual conversation. It just seems that the harder you fight, the harder the fight becomes. You think you're winning the battles, and then the bombs begin to fall. I don't know. It's just one step and then 2 steps back. I'm telling you, if the economy doesn't change, I'll be out of business. The reason that these statements are so representative of today's entrepreneurs is because they, and the odds are that you, the reader, are among them, have not recognized that the economy has changed. The war economy, the so-called real economy, as Gary Vaynerchuk calls it, the thank you economy, is no longer applicable in growing one's business. Even for business, these economies are mere metaphors. The economy that is truly on the rise is the love economy, and I will make the blanket statement that those in business who do not make this new paradigm their own will not survive. And even if they do, you can bet that over the next 5 or 10 years, the grip they will have become even looser and sweatier. Nevertheless, I will say it again, it doesn't have to be. The love-based entrepreneur will not only succeed, but will excel right now and into the future by making only a few easy and rewarding changes. In any case, as long as we keep living by the old battlefield metaphors, we must ask ourselves, is it any wonder that by the end of most of our business days we feel exhausted, weary, anxiety-filled, or we endure some other symptom resulting from the challenges we faced in the war zone we call work? And sure, there are exceptions to this because some days are better than others. So I'm speaking in general. I did a lot of thinking in general during the 3 years I spent seeking answers and pathways to a happier, more meaningful and purposeful life. I paid a lot of attention to these negatives in business. What was I after? First of all, I wanted more happiness and harmony in my professional and private life. I wanted to get up in the morning looking forward to the day, celebrating the challenges as opposed to fighting them, having fun making money, and giving joy as I built greater success. I wanted to stop getting down to business and start getting into the pleasures of doing business. What I wanted was to quit coming home with such a heavy load on my shoulders, a load that often stopped me from being as attentive to my family as I wanted to be. I simply wanted to bring the positive and loving into my life and the life of my loved ones. And as said before, I wanted the best of all worlds. I wanted financial wealth, success, and I wanted to do some good along the way. Remember what I said a few paragraphs ago? I said I had experienced an epiphany or a sudden realization of something profound. I really did. After all the reading, the research, the contemplation, and meditation, I realized I had already had the answer. It didn't come to me in some wild brainstorm or derived from intellectual theorizing. It came from the heart, or, if the reader prefers, from the depths of my own consciousness. It was simply love. Love? Don't slump. Don't roll your eyes upward in a skeptical response, because I'm going to tell you that love is more, much more, than you ever thought it was. In fact, one of the world's most renowned physicists, Fred Alan Wolf, tells us that love is the glue of the universe. It is the cohesive factor of our connection to the world and to others. It is also the most incredibly powerful tool we have for success in business as well as in our private lives. And I'm going to show you exactly how love can work for you to increase your sales, increase your productivity, increase your client and customer base, increase your profits, and gain the success that you desire for your business or career and for yourself. It is here that I will make the declaration that I am going to share with you the pragmatism of love and loving, a pragmatic and practical guide to the attainment of an abundance of good fortune. If you're willing to open your heart and your mind.